Welcome to Around the Clock, our Selectmen's Update. I have Carl Hackinson with me today, another member of the Board of Selectmen, to help me do the update from our January 6th meeting. It was a somewhat light meeting. We started it with a license hearing extending the entertainment license for Han2. Han2 is a restaurant over on 135. We gave them a acoustic music entertainment license back in 2014. They would like to expand that to more live music and more bands. But it was a good discussion.
It was a good discussion, and both sides, the neighbors, the whole idea of having electric music and a band and a place to go in town, I think, is a positive one. But I certainly understand the concerns of the of people in the neighborhood that are trying to sleep or trying to just have some privacy. And so I think it was a constructive conversation, and I think that we're going to be able to work something out, hopefully, that allows for both to be satisfied. And
we've extended their hearing to February 2nd to follow up with some of the recommendations that we've given them before we make our final decision. We then talked about the expansion of the Warren Woods Ad Hoc Committee. It is currently a 5-member committee, and they've done some preliminary work looking at just Warren Woods. We've decided to expand it to include sustainability, conservation, historical, and open space, so that they can look at more of the area, because we're going to be including the 22 Elliott Street when that becomes part of the, when it comes to the town, and then the purchase of the barn and silo at the Warren Conference Center. Right. It's a nice tie in all those areas together.
And it's good to get a diversity of input as to how those areas will be used.
Yep. Then we went into our old and new business. We talked about the volunteer breakfast date, which will be on Saturday, February 27th. That is when volunteer committees that are appointed by the Board of Selectmen get to come together, and we get to say thank you to all the other volunteers who help do the great work that's happening here in Ashland. We then talked about a road traffic safety committee. It was first presented back in the second meeting in December by Ed Berman to look at all the traffic issues, and they seem to be coming more and more. Traffic and parking and things like that. So we talked about that. We opened the annual town meeting warrant. Town meeting will be on May 4th, and we looked through all the dates of when things need to be done. We started the discussion for the override study committee update, and thoughts on the override process, Carl?
Well, interesting and thorough, I think, and diverse, and complicated as well, to try to find a balance, the right balance that's representative of the entire town.
Okay. Then we talked about some downtown parking facilities and issues, and how can we expand and change some of the parking. We presented and talked about the town manager public forum, where we were going to be doing a public interview with Michael Herbert, and that happened on January 12th. And then we talked about some vacancies that had to happen. Our Board of Assessors and our Water Policy Committee. Bill Brown, who's been a very strong volunteer doing a lot of different things, was on the Board of Assessors, and the Water Policy Committee has had to step down. That's a real loss to the community that he's not available.
Absolutely. Bill's a great guy, and everyone I know just has good things to say about him, so he will be missed, and we wish him well.
So that was it for the January 6th meeting. Hope you've enjoyed this Selectmen's Update. Stay with us for more Around the Clock.